Where's your master?
In the paddock.
Crucifix. What kind of beast could do this?
The blood of the martyrs. What happened here? Why?
Someone came at night and hamstrung every one of them. The horses, screaming, must have woke poor Ruddock, the stable boy. And when he tried to stop them... And then my husband, when my husband tried to help them, they killed him too. And when they were done, they put a torch to the stables.
My sincere condolences, ma'am. I swear we'll hunt those monsters down and make them pay for this.
The horses were still alive when I came. We had to finish them off. All of them. The pain in their eyes. They couldn't understand how anyone could do this to them.
Did they steal anything? Any horses?
Nothing. They wanted blood, not coin.
Did your husband quarrel lately? Was there anyone who might want revenge?
He argued over the price of a saddle, maybe, but nothing that could drive a man to this.
These are dark days when there's more kindness in horses than in men. Did you see anything? How many were there? Or what did they look like?
We saw no one.
Has anyone tried to follow the trail?
No. We were fighting the blaze until now, and even if we weren't, what chance would any of us have against someone who could do this?
Pox on it. Mount up and quarter the area. We have to find out where they went. Look for tracks and ask the folk if they saw anyone. Fuck! Someone must have at least caught sight of them.
Yes, sir.
What about me, Captain?
What the hell use are you? You stay here.
Please, let me do something. I could have a look around the area and see if they left any tracks.
Well, if you must. Just don't get in anyone's way, don't go too far, and come back here when you're done.
Alright guys, so we're back with some more Kingdom Come Deliverance, and we are checking in at the raid at Neuhof here. So, I'm going to show you guys how to get through the more tedious parts of this quest line as quickly as possible. But for now, we're going to basically just question some people. I'm going to try to give you guys as much of the story as possible without lingering here too long. So, the first person I always talk to is... well, let's inspect this corpse first.
The stud farm owner. I saw him in Skalitz a few times. His poor widow.
So the first person I always talk to is Zora, who will kind of give you leads as to who else you might want to talk to.
Ask.
I can come back later if you...
No. I saw you came with the soldiers, and the sooner you know everything, the sooner you'll catch those savages.
I'm sorry to trouble you, ma'am, but could you tell me about the raid?
The noise woke us up. Me and Smill. We thought the horses were restless, or maybe some drunk had staggered here from the inn.
That headgear is clipping really bad.
Do you get drunks coming here a lot?
Sometimes, but not this time. My husband went out to see what was going on. Then I just heard loud voices and screaming. It's so stupid. It didn't even occur to me at first that something could have happened to Smill. I didn't find out until the morning.
Did you recognize any of the voices you heard?
No, but they spoke Czech, cursing like demons, even at each other.
At each other? They quarreled?
Yes. Something must have happened.
And where did you hear this noise?
Everywhere. It was chaos. I don't even know how many of them there were.
I mean at the very start. Do you remember where you heard the noise come from then?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Did you get a look at them? There's one man, huge and dressed all in black. Did you see him?
No, I didn't.
Who should I question about the raid? Did anyone here see anything?
Jakob, the old stable boy. He even fought with them.
From what I've heard, Mark was the first one to wake. It might be a good idea to talk to him.
Ginger was sleeping in the stable. He might have seen something.
I don't know of anyone else.
Alright, so we're going to want to talk to Jakob, who's over here. And we'll have to pass a speech check with him, and I'll give you guys a rundown on that in just a second.
Another useless soldier coming to ask questions. You should have fucking been here last night.
Okay, so you have two options here. You can either try to persuade him by saying you're not a soldier, or you can, if you have any ability in first aid, you can ask him to show you his arm. I've never seen this one work, but I've never gotten to first aid 3 by the time I've done this quest, so it is possible that if you've maxed out that particular perk tree, you might be able to succeed this way, but I've never seen it work with first aid 1 or 2, so go with this check unless you're on first aid 3, and you should be able to pass this one pretty much no matter what.
I'm not a soldier. I'm one of the survivors from Skalitz.
I see, lad. Well then, what do you need to know?
What in the world happened here?
The bastards attacked us. At night, a little before dawn.
And how did you come by that wound?
I heard someone talking, so I went to look outside. Then I saw what they'd done to the horses. I shouted at those bastards. Caught one by the cloak and started beating him.
Without a weapon? With just your fists?
Yeah. But he cut me pretty good, the fucker. Lucky for me, the others started to come out then, so the raiders ran. All that's left is his cloak.
And you've got no idea why they did it?
Something must have gone wrong for them. They ran off without taking anything.
There's one man in particular. Huge. Dressed all in black. Voice loud enough to crack stone. Did you see him?
Who the fuck do you think half killed me?
So he really was here. The bastard.
Alright, so whether or not you passed the speech check before will be irrelevant up to this point. But the difference is when you go to this last dialogue option, help me. If you succeeded in the speech check through either of the options, he'll give you some information here. If you didn't, he will refuse.
Can you help me?
How?
You know the area. How can I figure out which way they went?
They left in a hurry. You could see if there's a fence knocked down, or a gate.
Alright, so that last part is a handy little clue if you don't know where you're looking. If you're following this guide, then it's irrelevant because you just need to do what I do. But we're going to want to head this way. If you follow the blood trail, it'll lead you to the other two people you're supposed to talk to. But you can just, follow my path. There'll be corpses and stuff strewn along the way here. And if you hit inspect, Henry will say, a little thing about each one. But overall, they're all irrelevant to what you're trying to do here. So you just want to keep moving toward the main stable here. And again, if you inspect these, it will kind of lead you toward this. So if you weren't following a guide, there are little clues that will, kind of push you toward your destination here. And so the two remaining stable boys we're going to want to talk to are, I believe, Mark here and Ginger there.
Are you... Are you well?
Leave me alone. Go away. But there's no need to be afraid. With your help, I'll find those bastards and then I'll make them pay.
They deserve it. What do you need to know?
What actually happened here?
They killed the animals and... Why did they kill them?
Did they take anything?
No.
Think carefully now. How did it all start?
We heard the animals, their shrieks, then Smill. He shouted, and they murdered him.
You're certain it was the animals first, and then Smell? Not the other way round?
I'm certain. I'd never heard a sound like that before. Now I'll never forget it.
What happened after that?
We ran outside and it was chaos. Animals were dying, the stables were burning, and those demons everywhere.
The stables were already burning. Didn't that happen after they fled?
No. It was to set the blaze when they arrived.
You said they were demons?
No, just vermin. Worthless human vermin.
How many of them were there?
Not many. There were just a few that came after us, but more round the back. I heard them yelling at each other.
So they were yelling because of all the noise?
No, something happened. They quarrelled.
In the back? Where?
Towards the woods. To the north. They were trying to get away.
So some of them were running away and the others were fighting?
Aye. For a time. Then more of us came out and we fought back, so the others fled as well.
Where? Where did they run to?
To the north. Into the woods.
Thanks. That's all I needed to ask.
Okay, so there's some pretty important information there. First of all, he told us what direction they went. So these are the woods to the north here. That's where we're going to want to head. And then from Jakob, we know that we need to look for a gate. And so you can see over there that along this wall, that gate has been broken down. And that'll be the next major clue we pick up on. But we're going to go talk to Ginger before we look at that. The other important piece of information there is the fact that the raiders who came here were quarreling amongst each other. And that's going to play a major part in the next couple of main story quests. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is going to be some conflicts between several groups happening where time will be a factor. So let's talk to Ginger.
What? Who's there?
Easy. I just came to ask...
I don't know anything.
Are you hurt?
No, nothing. Not a scratch.
What really happened here?
I don't know. Someone attacked. I don't know who.
You didn't happen to hear where they came from?
No. I didn't see a thing.
Alright, so obviously Ginger's a little bit suspicious there, but we'll find out more about that in a little bit. Let's go investigate this gate over here. Again, we were told that the bandits fled to the north into the woods, and Jakob suggested that they may have knocked over a gate or something as they fled in a hurry, and sure enough, they did.
Aha! This wasn't done by animals. They must have gone into the woods this way.
So if we inspect this gate here, it will advance the quest, and we can check both sides. But basically, if you want to, I think you can jump right to this and inspect it, but obviously, if you're trying to enjoy the game, I would go through, ask some questions, try to immerse yourself in what's happening. And now you have an option. You can go back and report, or you can just kind of push on and discover what's happening here for yourself. Now, if you go back, you can, and this is advisable if you, I'm going to start walking this way as we go, but if you go back to Captain Bernard here, he will give you somebody to come with you to help you. So if you struggle in combat in this game, or you just feel like you're not quite ready to maybe duel some bandits, that would be probably a smart thing to do is go back and get a little bit of help. But I'm just going to push on, because this is a little bit faster than having to backtrack. And I know what's up ahead, and I feel pretty confident in my abilities to deal with it myself. So that's what we're going to do. And make sure as you cross this road here, you inspect this blood.
Going deeper and deeper, for sure.
It's not going to advance... Oh, it is going to advance the quest, excuse me. And it will give you a game save. But yeah, it'll, you know, prompt you to continue into the forest. And at this point, we're going to want to be a little bit more sneaky. Making sure that we stay along this rough path here. And you can hear the music change, which will indicate that something's up. But we're just going to want to sneak along this path here. And it's a little bit difficult to stick with just because it is, again, a very rough path. But as long as you look at the ground here, you should be able to see it. And we'll hear voices as we come up on these bushes.
Find those bastards, and I'll send them straight to hell myself. But I'll already be there, waiting for them. Don't talk that way. We'll get back to the camp and I'll take care of you there. No, my friend. I'm not long for this world. Go, before someone finds us here. Don't worry about me. You know I can't leave you here. If they find you... I know. I wanted to do it myself. I don't even have the strength for that. What kind of nonsense is that? Christ's sake, what other options do I have? I won't make it to camp and you know it. You want to leave me here to die in agony? Alright then.
Alright, so we can't let him kill this guy.
How should I?
So, I'm going to engage. And apparently he didn't have time to pull his weapon out, so this is going to be a lot easier than it would have otherwise. Oh, there we go. Ooh, got him with the combo, and that will put him down. Alright.
I'm fucking dying here. Nobody can match me with iron in their hands, and... some damn peasant kills me. Dagger covered in horse shit.
Alright, so once you talk to him, he'll die. I haven't been able to find any sort of combination of doing things in any certain order that will keep him alive long enough to get any information out of him. But that's not important because he has all the information we need in his loot. So I'm going to grab this burger sword because it's a bit valuable. And I'll probably loot this guy as well. Yeah, let's grab that. We'll grab that. Yeah, that's all good. Those are kind of useless. That gambeson's not terrible, though. And then if we loot this guy, we'll find this bloody hoof pick. And it's got the big, like, sun thing behind it, indicating that this is a quest item. So make sure you take that, if nothing else. And then, you know, just grab the Groshin, whatever you feel like off of this guy. I'll grab that because it's kind of unique looking, and maybe this stuff as well. Okay, and that makes me slightly encumbered, so I'm gonna dump some of this on my horse. I think we'll do the boot. Anything stolen, I guess I'll throw on the horse, so that hopefully by the time I come back for it in my inventory, it will have removed the stolen marker. Okay. So we got what we came for. These guys are both dead. Let's head back. And we'll go talk to Captain Bernard. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is on our way back, we need to check for Ginger. Because obviously that hoof pick was his based on what the bandits were saying. But if we ask around, we can get confirmation on that. However, we'll notice that he's not here.
He's here just now. Damn it.
And Henry is obviously aware of the fact that he's gone missing. So let's actually talk to the couple of sable hands that we talked to earlier and see if they know anything about where he went.
Do you know whose hoof pick this is?
Ginger's. He was always bragging about it. Why do you ask?
I'm just trying to get the story straight.
But you won't find Ginger here anymore. He left.
You don't know where Ginger could have gone?
Dunno. Ask Jakob.
Do you know anything about Ginger? I followed 2 of the raiders and they were talking about him.
But he... Because of him? Because of him they murdered us? Lord in heaven!
Wait, hold on. You think Ginger was responsible for the attack?
He ran off! Don't you see? He was acting so strange and then he ran off! Why the hell would he do that?
That does sound rather odd.
Okay. So, let's continue on and we'll go talk to Jakob, who might know where he went. And then, since Captain Bernard is over there as well, we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then we'll be off on our next heading.
Do you know anything about this hoof pick?
Yeah. It's Ginger's. He had it made in mate.
Any idea where I might find this Ginger?
Well, that's the thing. He packed up and left.
What?
Look, I know how he looks. But Ginger is a fine fellow. I don't believe he had anything to do with the attack.
Oh, whoops.
Where could he have fled to?
I might know. But you gotta promise me one thing. When you find him, listen to what he has to say before judging.
You have my word.
Sometimes the charcoal burners come to see him. He gets on well with them. I think that's where he's gone.
And where is that?
No idea. They've always kept to themselves, you know, charcoal burners.
But the forest is full of folk like that. They could be anywhere.
Aye, except these ones won't be far. If you follow the stream from the stud farm towards Rate, you'll come across one of their camps. Only
what?
Ginger didn't go that way, though. He always went by the big road, through the woods in the direction of Ujits.
But how can I find them?
There's always smoke when they work. You'll smell them before you see them. And they need to be near water. There's that too.
So if I go through the woods along running water, I'll find them?
Exactly.
Okay, so now that we've gotten all the information we can out of this stable hand, let's go back to Captain Bernard and check in.
My respects to you.
And again, it's worth mentioning that you can check in after basically every little piece of information you find. But I find that to be very tedious and not very time efficient, so I'm trying to show you guys how to knock this out without wasting too much of your time. But still, you know, not ignoring the story entirely.
I think Ginger is mixed up in it somehow.
Why do you say that?
Those bandits I found in the woods were talking about him.
They mentioned him by name?
Well, they said Ginger.
That is suspicious, but it could be a coincidence.
He acted suspiciously when I questioned him.
What do you mean?
Well, he was squirming and didn't really say anything.
He might just have been in shock.
The hoof pick I found on the dead bandit in the woods is his.
That is fucking suspicious.
He disappeared right after we found those bandits in the woods. And I think I know where he went.
Where?
To the charcoal burners. He has friends there.
We've got to find him. But if his friends really are hiding him, I doubt they'll talk to my men. You should search for him, Henry. Go, before the trail turns cold. I'll send a report to Ratai.
Very well, sir.
Okay, so we've checked in with Captain Bernard, we've got our heading. The game is going to sort of lead you astray here, and so what I'm going to show you is hopefully a more effective way to go about this, because the game wants you to ride to the south of Neuhof to check in on these charcoal burners. However, Jakob is very clear that Ginger does not go to the south when he goes to meet these charcoal burners. He said he goes by the main road toward Ujits. Now, this is the main road that goes all the way through Neuhof, and Ujits, which we haven't discovered yet, is vaguely up in this direction. So, it's a pretty clear indication that this is not the place that we're supposed to be looking for him. However, you can see that along this main road there is a woodcutting area with a charcoal burner camp. So that's where we're going to head, and we're basically just going to circumvent this waypoint because it's a waste of time. If you go down there, they're just going to tell you to check up here. So that's what we're going to do without their help. Alright, so I've made a slight detour here, just so I could show you guys something that you may or may not be aware of already. But this camp, which is located on not the main road, but the other road that branches off from the main road at Neuhof. And basically, if you follow this road toward the edge of the map as if you were going to ride off the edge of it, you'll find this little camp here, right at the location I'm at currently. And this particular camp has a chest in it with a variable lock, so we may or may not be able to get into it at our current level, but we'll see. Oh, it's not even locked. Okay. The chest will have a shield leaning up against it, and this is the best shield in the game. So you may want to pick that up, even if you're not going to use it. And then if you open this, again, this lock can be locked, or excuse me, this chest can be locked. And I've seen a couple of different level locks on it. I've had it be easy, I've had it be very hard, but apparently right now it's not locked at all. If we open this, we're going to find an incredible amount of loot, including St. George's sword, which is the best sword in the game, the best long sword, with a 72 stab and slash rating. So this chest is pretty game breaking if you find it this early. Obviously you're going to be pretty much set for equipment, but I'm going to go ahead and take all of it. I'm not going to use any of it. I might sell it, but again, if you don't want to have things unbalanced, you may not want to come here yet. But I just wanted to show you guys in case you didn't know. So that's there. But keep in mind, again, that you may or may not be able to get into the lock, depending on what it's set to. In this case, I got lucky and it wasn't locked at all. Alright, so here we are at the charcoal burners camp. Let's talk to the spokesman if they have one. We'll try this guy.
Good day to you.
Has anyone here seen Ginger?
That boy from the stud farm?
Yes, that's the one. Is he around?
No, he's not here. But he passed through not long ago on the way to Tomberg. You follow the stream to the west, and you'll find more charcoal burners there.
Okay, so obviously the game was sending you in the wrong direction by going that way. We are going to want to follow the stream to the west, just as he said, and find another charcoal burner camp along it. Now, there is a path. Let's see. If you stay on the main road, actually, it'll take you along there. And so, they said he was going toward Townburg, meaning if we continue sort of like west by northwest, eventually we'll run into them. And I think that might be their camp peeking through the clouds right there, but we'll see. I would recommend staying along this road because there is a chance you'll have an encounter that has something to do with the main story. You may not, and you may have to go about dealing with it a different way if you don't happen to have it. But I've had it happen to me several times, so I would recommend doing that just so you have a chance of triggering it. And if not, then, well, you can go about it, again, a different way. Let's see. Can I have my horse ride up this? Sweet. Okay, so off we go. So as we're riding along here, you're going to want to keep an eye out. Actually, I went on the wrong side there, didn't I? Yeah, I want to stay over here. You're going to want to keep an eye out for two men walking. One of which will be wearing a hood similar to the one I'm wearing, but it'll be half white, half black. And it may have some sort of cross symbol on it. If you see those guys, either kill them or try to initiate dialogue with them, because you will need to deal with them at some point. And so if you can do it on your way to this next camp, all the better. It'll save you some time. If not, then you may have to divert a little bit later and go after them. So again, if you can find them on your way here, it will save you a little bit of trouble. Now, I know vaguely where their camp is. However, I think I'm going to do things... I'm going to play dumb here a little bit. And, oh, Are you poaching? You know what, man? I ain't even gonna sweat it. You do you. I got bigger fish to fry. Alright, so as we cross the bridge here, we can see their camp. So we'll want to go talk to these guys. And there are several people here you can talk to, and depending on who you talk to first, different things may play out. But ultimately, you just need to figure out where Ginger is, and somebody here will eventually give you that information. So, there's random charcoal burners, there's the spokesman here, and then there's also a pair of twins who will know where he is.
I thought he was hiding from the stable master, but he wasn't. It wouldn't be the first time he vexed his master. I figured there was a wench behind it.
Aye. Remember that time he let one of the horses stray? He came running here like his arse was on fire.
This time his arse really was on fire, eh?
Alright, so obviously these two know where he is because they were just talking about him.
God be with you.
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof. Do you know where I might find him?
Well, if you go south from here, you'll come across Old Andrew's Inn on the road. If you go along the road from there to the east, you'll reach Neuhof.
I know where Neuhof is. The boy isn't there.
Ah, I see. I can't help you then. I've never noticed anyone of that description around here.
That's odd. The charcoal burners by the stream told me they know Ginger and that he comes to visit you.
Horseshit! They probably just said that to get rid of you. Nobody likes a stranger sticking his nose into their business.
It's the business of my liege lord. I'm here because of what happened at Neuhof, and that boy knows something about it. Let me talk to him.
Hold your horses. First, prove you're with the garrison.
How? You want me to bring the whole garrison here?
If there's no other way. Because there's been 2 brutes asking after him too. And they look like they'd cut his throat without blinking.
Alright, I'll deal with them. And then you'll tell me where you've got Ginger hidden, right?
Right. You get rid of them, and I'll tell you.
So where can I find these bandits?
I'm not sure exactly. There's lots of places to hide around here. But they came and went over the bridge, so I reckon they must be somewhere between here and our neighbours.
That's a lot of woods to comb through.
Not all that much. There's a path around there somewhere leading to an abandoned camp.
Okay, so again, if you can kill those bandits before you get here, then it's just a matter of turning in that little side quest when you talk to this guy. But because we didn't see them, we're going to have to go back and find them now. And I know vaguely where they are, so I'll try to show you guys. But it is possible for you to just encounter them along the path as well. If not, they will be at their camp, in which case I'll try to show you where to find it. But your best bet is just staying along the path that we came in on here, and eventually you will maybe even be able to see them from the road. Okay, so I've gone to this camp right here, and this is where they're located, so if you're having trouble finding them, this is exactly where to do it. It's about 2/3 away from the camp that's helping Ginger hide, and about 1/3 of the distance away from the first camp that we talked to. So, I'm going to get off my horse and talk to these guys. It is possible to stealth kill them, although, because it's broad daylight, I don't know how much luck I'll have. Actually, one of them just went to sleep, so you know what? Let's give it a go. I'm going to move into the brush here, and we'll go ahead and equip, or unequip all of our noisy stuff. And I actually have some hunting boots. That might be preferable to the working boots. Let's see. Hunting boots. Yeah, those are a little bit quieter, so we'll throw those on. I think the noble shoes are... Oh, actually, the noble shoes are the same. Alright, well, I've already sent these over here. Right, and we'll put that on. Let's take this off. I don't want to completely unarmor myself, because I don't want to be super vulnerable to, you know, being killed. But at the same time, I'd like to be a little bit harder to spot. And I will equip my bow as well. Although this bow is not going to be particularly useful against these guys. They are armored. So a little villager's hunting bow is not really going to do much to them. I can't really flank around that way, can I?
Hey, what are you up to?
Oh, well, I've been spotted. That didn't go over particularly well. Let's see, he's going to wake up, but maybe I can get this guy before he does? Yeah, that'll make things easier. So now we can just one-on-one with this guy. Oh, and he's already swinging. Damn. Ooh, caught me with a combo there. That was kind of cheap, though. I wasn't really able to defend myself. Whew. And he came to play. Oh. Well, now he's dead. Stabbed him right in the face. Okay. So grab this. And let's loot this guy. That's an interesting hood. This is unique as far as I can tell. I've never seen anybody else with this. It's not particularly valuable, but I don't know. If you like collecting unique stuff, might be worth grabbing that. And let's see. That works pretty well. Actually, was that boar hides? It's not that valuable. And then the other guy that we killed is here. Luckily, I was able to stealth kill him. Made things a lot easier than fighting them both at the same time. Let's see. I find it interesting. I feel like some of the gambesons need to be rebalanced because, for example, the light gambeson is one of the heavier gambesons you'll actually encounter, which doesn't really make sense, and it's not particularly good at protecting you, so there's really no reason for this one to even exist. I just find it odd. Every gambeson that we own, I have like 4 of them on my person right now, are all 11 weight or less, and this is a light gambeson, which is the heaviest one that we've encountered. Let's see, I'll take some arrows, I'll take his skull cap, armor's kit might be useful, and the rest of this stuff is all pretty useless. Now, I don't think there's anything in their chest here, but we'll lockpick it anyways for the experience. There we go. And let's see, there's a couple of things. Nothing useful, though. Alright, so how am I on food? Perfect. Let's go ahead and snack on their food. And then we'll head back. Come on, Pebbles. Pebbles' inventory is full, by the way, so I'm going to be encumbered here for a little while. But that's alright. So I've just run into a bunch of bandits attacking a bunch of guards. And I'm going to jump in here, and hopefully the guards will help me. It doesn't look like they will. Did he hit me, or did I hit him? Let's see. I don't want to get flanked here, so I might need to run. Ah, crap. It's where being encumbered really doesn't pay. These guards are just hiding. Great. Alright, Pebbles. Let's move. And, oh, too many bushes. Alright, I'm going to draw my bow. If you ever get overwhelmed, the best thing to do is jump on your horse and get your bow out and shoot them from horseback. It does take a while to switch weapons on horseback, but it's very easy to hit people and run with your bow. And so there's one down. And there's another that way. Let's go kill him. And I'll probably loot these guys as well. There's a dead cumin too. 2 dead cumins even. You guys are cowards. Where'd the other guy go, by the way? Are you seriously? Serious? I'm defending you. Get out of here. Shooting bandits. Trying to arrest me. We'll have to go surrender ourselves and pay a fine, probably, but I'm not going to let this guy get away. Alright, shot him in the ass. I think he's going to go down. And somebody's still trying to get me to surrender. I'll deal with that in a second. Well, who knew it was illegal to shoot bandits that were accosting guards? Let's see, I'll take that. That's an upgrade for our bow, so I'll definitely use that. And this black hood... it's actually not that great in terms of stealth, but I'll see if it's better than the hoods I'm currently using. So, I should probably re-equip some of this stuff, shouldn't I?
You've been shooting at people, you brute! Well, you won't forget this in a hurry, because it'll take a nice pile of coin to fix it.
Are you pulling my pizzle? Don't you know who I am? You better watch your step, or I'll make things so hot for you, you'll be lucky to get a job slopping out piss pots.
What's your game, boy? I'm not going to swallow that one.
That's a poor choice of words. I'm just gonna pay this.
Oh well, what can I do? Here you are.
You paid for your crimes. I hope you've learned your lesson.
Who's there?
Next time I see guards being accosted by bandits, I'll probably just let them die. Oh, there's still a human prisoner here too. What's going on? What an absolute shit show this is. Can I loot some of these guys, or am I gonna get in trouble? Oh, I can loot this one. So at the very least, I'll be able to recover that money through all the loot that we've picked up. But, that does kind of suck how it played out. I am, like, so encumbered at this point. But it's worth it. Ooh, a falchion. Is that any good? Not as good as my longsword. Okay, so we're back at the camp. Hopefully we've made it here before everybody went to bed. It doesn't look like it. So they may not be willing to talk to me until the morning, which is going to absolutely suck. But we will do our best. That doesn't look like the right guy. Raiden, no, that's not him. Alright, so let's go visit Ginger, and then we're going to call it an episode. Let's get on the horse here. I'm moving real slow because of all this loot. But we're going to head northeast to this area. I'm going to mark it with a waypoint there. But it's more or less right on the quest marker, so I would just ride directly into the forest and you'll eventually hit the little cottage he's talking about. So let's go up this way. And it can be difficult to spot because this is a pretty heavily wooded area, but it is the only building in the area, so it shouldn't be that difficult to find once you've, you know, kind of made it to this general vicinity. Oh, I've ran into a tree branch. I love how he lays on his back and just stares at this guy for a second. And Pebbles just goes on without you. I believe that's it right there, actually. But I'm going to stay on the horse for a little bit further, just because it's very slow for me to walk. Let's see, I think the entrance is over here. Yeah. So that's the entrance. And Ginger will be just laying on the floor inside, so you can go talk to him. Now, this particular quest doesn't seem to be time sensitive, but some of the other ones will be, to the point where you may or may not be able to find the person before the bandits get to them if you wait too long.
There was nothing I could have done to help. I was frozen solid. I couldn't even open my mouth. I couldn't even get a peep out. They would have killed me if I'd said anything. I couldn't stop what happened. I'm not to blame.
Okay, shut up.
Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like that? Where are your cronies? And why did you kill that bandit?
What?
Right, one thing at a time. Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone. God is my witness.
I'm looking for your friends. Where are they?
The charcoal burners? They're over at the...
To hell with the charcoal burners. Where are your bandit mates?
They're not my mates. They nearly killed me. I recognized one of them, so I thought they'd come back and...
Recognized? Who was it? Talk!
I don't know his name, only that he's from Ushitz, and he has a limp.
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ushitz, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
Don't worry, I won't get bored.
All right. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to go for a piss. So I went out into the dark, same as usual, only there was something there that shouldn't have been. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light, but it wasn't. And then it was too late. They went past and I thought they must be horse thieves. I would have yelled, only I was afraid they'd kill me. So I waited until they were out of sight and I started to sneak away, but then
Then the slaughtering started.
Yes. I thought they'd steal the horses and ride off. That would be bad enough, but then all the killing started and flames everywhere. It was terrible, like hell itself.
And then?
It seemed some of them didn't like it either. They started squabbling among themselves, and some of them started running back where they came from, right towards me. And I had that thing in my hand, the hoof pick.
So you stabbed the first one in the belly?
No. He ran right into me. He was running fast for a fellow with a limp. He pushed me aside and I fell on the ground. Then he told me I'd better lie low if I valued my life. He ran off with the others. I did what he said and hid. Then the rest of the gang ran past.
And then?
Then I waited in case that limping one from Ujits came back. I didn't dare come out until I was sure. I think it was almost light.
What about the others? Was there anything you noticed about them?
I don't know. There might have been maybe 8 of them, and 2 of them were really big. That's all I can remember.
Do you know what they argued about?
I didn't hear everything, but I reckon some of them were only there to steal and wanted no part in the killing.
That sounds terrible. I know exactly how you feel.
If only I yelled. Maybe they...
If you had, you'd most likely be dead. You probably wouldn't have done any good anyway.
But still...
There was nothing you could do. That's all. I've heard everything I need to hear, so I'll leave you be.
Wait! What about me? Won't you help me out?
Perhaps I could. What would you like?
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those cutthroats who want to kill me are still around. Will you help me?
They're out of the way. I ran into them on my travels.
Really? That's great, but...
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away, and God knows what they'll think about it all. I don't know if they'll even want to talk to me.
I could go and ask them if it's important to you.
Would you? You'll definitely have their respect, the way you took care of those cutthroats.
Okay, so we've talked to Ginger. We know where we need to head next. Oh, hello. That kind of scared me. Like a murderer in the door. Anyways, we know where we need to go next. Is that a piece of cheese? I'm not going to steal it. So, before we go to Ujits and find out about this guy with a limp, we're going to return back to Neuhof and check in with Bernard. I believe by the time that you've completed this, Radzig will be there as well, so you can check in with him too. I obviously also need to unload quite a bit of gear, so I may stop in at some of the merchants at Ratai before we come back with the next episode, but we are out of time, so I'm going to leave it here. And we'll pick back up either with Bernard or in Ujits. I'll decide whether or not I feel like including that. But we'll jump straight into the next quest in the next episode. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Kingdom Come Deliverance with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.